It's day 16 of our 40 days of prayer to kick off 2021, and we're in this portion of our 40 days where we're praying for God to help us to rebuild our sense of community. With everything that went on last year and the fracturing of our sense of community, we saw how people's individual agendas, our own opinions, our own feelings about different issues, when those were put ahead of everything else, then it really divides us and leads us into uh, messy spaces and relationships falling apart. Well, what's the response to that? How do we get past that and yet still be okay? I think the gospel leads us forward. I love how in Acts 16, after the Jerusalem Council, where they decided not to put additional burdens on the Gentile believers, not to make them try to become Jewish before they could become Christian, that we have this collection of stories where all these different people were coming then into the faith, coming into the community of faith. You have Timothy, who's half Jew, half Greek, and they have him circumcised for the sake of his relationships with the Jewish people. But then you have someone like Lydia, and then you have the Philippian jailer. So Paul and Silas were put into prison as they were traveling on this journey, and the angel of the Lord frees them. But instead of running away at their first opportunity, seeking their own welfare, they actually remain and minister to the brother, the jailer, and bring him into the faith. And it's just a beautiful picture of how Christians are called to not put our own welfare, our own needs, even our own opinions or thoughts on things first, but to really put the gospel first and see what that means. So we want to pray to be a community where we're doing that. Our own welfare, our own wants, our own desires, our own opinions about things become really secondary, and what becomes primary is the work of the gospel. How can we show the love of Jesus to others? This is the power of the community of God. And when the rest of the world sees that God's done something special, and this, reflecting on Nehemiah chapter 6, when they finish that wall, people know God did this, and all the people around them are actually they're afraid of God because of His glory, because He can do things that we can't do in our own flesh, in our own sense of community. Only God can build us as a community that really reflects His love. Don't forget to pray for those around you. Pray for two other people in particular, and I'll see you tomorrow.